Good morning and welcome to the 5-Minute Marketing Method webinar. I'm super excited to be with you folks today. This is the last of 3 webinars that were put together to identify and to introduce the 5-Minute Marketing Method. And what's exciting about this one specifically is it's focused on being organized or getting organized. And as with anything, many people don't like doing that, but we will go ahead and go through the process and talk about all the different things, and I promise that I'll make this very easy and you'll feel very successful each time you do one of these tasks. That's my goal, at least. So this is the third of 3 webinars. The first webinar was regarding the direct reach outs, which directly connected you to contacts in your database, whether they be clients or referring partners or prospects. The second webinar focused on tasks relating to social media and websites and how to get on the web to further your business, whether it's research or actually being visible on the web. And this webinar again is about getting organized. As with all of the other webinars, some items here will look familiar. And as with everything else, we will be moving quickly because we have a lot to get through. Know that you will be receiving a daily coaching and support email. After this webinar later today, you will be receiving a recording of this webinar. You'll be receiving a slide deck, and you'll also be receiving the questions with their answers. All 3 of those will be on one email provided to you. So the focus for you today is to just listen and take in the process. Really, there's no need to take notes. I just want you to sit back and absorb what you're hearing. You'll get all the details you need when it's time to do the task, and everything will make sense as we get through it. So let's get started. My name is Karen Gunther, and it is my opportunity today to share with you the 20 years of direct sales experience that I've had in the business-to-business marketplace. Business-to-business marketplace is different than the business-to-consumer marketplace, but many things are very similar and can be adjusted. So if you are in a business-to-consumer market, meaning you're dealing with regular people who utilize your business or services, product or services, you are still able to use a lot of these tasks. You might just have to make a couple of little alterations, and if you're confused as to how to do that, please let me know. But my focus is on the business-to-business marketplace because that's where all of my experience is in, and I execute daily marketing tasks to further my business. I'm here to share those with you so that you can see how you can provide consistency, automation, and delegation as part of your daily marketing time each day so that you can put your more personal time and effort into the actual contacts and the activities are more important to you on a daily basis, and let technology do the rest. I am a constant contact business partner, and I provide consistent email marketing programs for my clients. I would like to thank Constant Contact for hosting this webinar series. Let's get started. What is the 5-minute marketing method? Well, there's 1,440 minutes in a day. And my suggestion is that you just take 5 to go through and get peace of mind and move your business forward consistently. Now, what's important about that is that if you take just a little bit of time each day, which is what I'm suggesting, that you'll be able to move your business forward and you'll get peace of mind. What do I mean when I say peace of mind? Many of my clients talk to me and they say, gosh, if I could just do one extra thing, I would feel better. Or when I start helping them with their consistent email marketing, they say, you know what, I'm sleeping better at night because I know I'm doing something to help my business on a daily basis outside of the normal business activities. So this 5-minute marketing method is built 100% around taking one extra step per day to ensure that your marketing program is moving forward, even if it's just a little bit at a time, very incrementally. Our focus today is on the 7 tasks that are created to help you get organized. The last 2 webinars, like I suggested before, were about direct reach outs and social media marketing tasks. Were huge success. People have been doing these tasks and seeing a difference in their business. And I'm just so delighted to be able to be a part of that and to have them feel the strength of what these tasks can do. As small as they are, they do make a difference. The 5-minute marketing method provides you a way to activate your marketing on a daily basis. And marketing tasks small or large, they do create a tipping point for new business revenue. Whether it's with existing clients or new clients, it's always been my axiom that you can always go back to an existing client and find a way to provide a new product or service to them and grow your business more easily that way than it is to go find a new prospect. So in all of these tasks, you need to keep in mind that you're touching not only new prospects, which people believe to be the holy grail, but in my mind, your existing clients are the true holy grail, because the better you serve them, the more money you make. And that's just the way it works. Before we go on to the next slide, I just want to remind you that this is being recorded and you will be receiving a daily coaching email for each task. Coaching emails will start the day after this webinar, and all questions asked during the webinar will have written answers and will be provided with the recording. So the problem is there's too much work and there's too little time. You're being pulled in multiple directions, but the problem is that marketing fills the pipeline, so it's necessary. You have to do these tasks, whether you decide you think you need to do them or not. If you think you can just set them aside and say, oh, I'll just do that tomorrow, or I'll do 2 of them tomorrow. In reality, if you do one little thing per day, you will stay ahead of the problem. Most business owners are not natural-born salespeople, and that's important, because their passion and their commitment and their knowledge of their product surpasses what a natural salesperson can communicate. But after a while, even that slows down, and you have to employ some marketing tactics, whether you're the business owner or you are the salesperson. And in fact, even natural-born salespeople must do these specific daily tasks as well. Okay, I'm hearing that the microphone might not be great. Please keep me posted. Thank you. You might say, but I already know that I have to take these actions. Why do I need to stop and take a look at this now? Because you're fighting a battle, and anytime you see a webinar from me, you will probably see this cartoon because it is just fantastic. Gentleman is there trying to sell a machine gun against a gentleman who's used to using bow and arrows. These marketing tips are the arsenal that will help you win the war. By doing these small little things, you are able to go through and provide additional ammunition for the battle and the war that you're working on in the marketplace today, because it is a mentality out there for sure, a war mentality out there. The point is that you need to work smart and not hard. By investing these 5 minutes a day, you get everything you see here. You get to work on your business versus in your business. Many people work in their business and they think that they're doing everything that they can do. True business owners, when they really want to move their business forward and take it to the next level, work on their business, and they find a way to do it every day, even though it means adding 5 minutes or a half an hour or doing one additional task. It is so helpful to know that you also need to work on your business. And you need to also know that not everything gets done perfectly, but no matter what, you're still advancing your business each day because you're doing something extra. So what are you supposed to do in these 5 minutes? In the 5-minute marketing method, you will need to know what your tasks are, and we will be going over your Get Organized tasks today. You will need to set your timer for 5 minutes, and it is suggested that you have no interruptions, so it actually works. Any time of the day will work, and that's the beauty of these specific Get Organized tasks, is that they can be done any time of the day. They can be done at midnight, they can be done at 2 a.m. None of these tasks need to be done during normal business hours. Let me check my audio here, hold on. Please continue to let me know if the audio is still fading. The Get Organized task list. In total, there are 20 tasks that you will need to have by the end, that you'll have by the end of the 3 webinars, because there's generally 20 business days in the month. You will receive this list of total 20 items the day after the last task email. This gives you a chance to do something every day to move your business forward. But what are these tasks? Here are the Get Organized tasks. These tasks will help you save time. They look like they take time, but truly they're going to save you time, because any time that you can take to automate a process will save you future time exponentially. I saw a TED Talk recently where they talked about the importance of automating and using technology as your guide so that you save future time. And by saving that future time, it is an exponential savings of time overall. It may take time to set it up, but what you gain in the future is beyond belief. So it will save you time. It will make it easier to transfer data between services. It also provides you with usable content for your marketing purposes. It will show current success, and it capitalizes on the connections that you want to build. And more importantly, it builds trust. How could getting organized build trust? Well, I guess you're going to learn about that a little bit later. Let's start with these tasks. Task number 1, use technology to help you. My suggestion is that you add 5 contacts to your email address book per month. I would suggest that you do it a day, but many times just doing this task, 1 5-minute period, adding 5 contacts to your email address book is a great way to get started. There are 2 ways to do this. You can do it manually, which means you go through and you have your business cards and you physically type them in, or you can use a business card scanner. Now, business card scanners, when you receive the task email, I have a whole paragraph about business card scanners and my personal experience with them. If any of you have had experiences that are great with business card scanners, then I would love to hear about them. I've had good experiences with business card scanners, but not great ones. So I hesitate to suggest any of the ones that I have tried or any of the apps, cell phone apps that I have tried for that. The best way that I know to automate the business card process is to install something called EverContact. And EverContact will be provided with a link on the first task email, which you'll be receiving on Friday. And what that is it's a free service. It overlays onto your Outlook. I'm not sure if it overlays onto Gmail. Many of you have Google Business accounts, but if you have to check that. But for Outlook, it goes through and it reviews every single email that comes in, takes a look at the signature and takes that information and magically creates a new contact with that. Not magically, it's technology, okay? But in reality, it feels like magic. And that automatically adds it. I personally find that it's easier for me to go through once a quarter and delete out random emails that have made their way, random contacts that have made their way in there that are unnecessary than it is to actually go through and add new contacts. So this is a way for me to add contacts to my contact database without doing anything than setting this up, which takes about 5 minutes, quite frankly. Why do I want to do this? What's the importance of adding 5 contacts a day or 5 contacts to your email address book? Well, you can utilize it for your marketing purposes. If you do email marketing, it makes it easy for you to download that information and provide consistent information to the people you're talking with right now. So many clients that I work with have client lists that they have dealt with in the past, but not current. Who's the person who's going to be able to give you more business more quickly? The people you're working with now. Not so much the prospects that you tried to approach more than a year ago, more so the prospects that you're approaching now. So it's really important to have a way to capture that information and to put that into your email marketing purposes. Also, the other key is you may think you already are saving that data, because when you come up on Gmail or on Outlook, when you start typing in the person's name, it pops up and you say, okay, send to that email to that person, and off you go. That's just a quick time saver that Outlook or Gmail or your email program provides you with. That's not actually saved in your contact address book. Many people think that those contacts are saved, but they're not. So it's really important to know that even though you think they might be saved, you might want to double check that. It's also great for prospect planning purposes. Download the Excel spreadsheet, take a look, go through, do a quick eyeball on who your prospects are. Might be reminded of somebody to go ahead and connect with. Holiday and business mailings are also really important to have this information. How many times have you gone to do a mailing for business purpose and you're running around trying to find people's addresses? This solves that problem. And last and most least, but not the least, is cell phone backup. I know I have lost contacts at one time in my life or another, and I'm sure you have done the same. And if you haven't, then congratulations. This provides an opportunity for you to have a timestamp. I download my contacts about once a quarter, and I put them into the cloud, and I put them on a thumb drive so that if I lose things, I'm only, a month or two behind where I'm at. Now you may say, but I have Gmail, and Gmail saves all the email addresses, but it doesn't save the rest of the data. So it's important to know that, you still need to go through and fill in the rest of the data. I have very specific ideas about this that are provided on the task email that you'll receive on Friday, but it's super important to go through and add these contacts to your address book for all of the reasons shown above. Once again, I'm all about the automated method, but everybody gets to choose their own. Task number 2 is to create an autoresponder series or something called drip marketing. Now, what's an autoresponder series? Well, an autoresponder series is that you add somebody's name to a email list, and on certain timed formats, they receive a preset email that are sent out. So let's say you're working with a new prospect. You meet him today, you know that prospect won't be making a business decision for about 6 months. So in the intervening time, what you do is you set this person up on an autoresponder series, and you add them today. Tomorrow they receive their first email of, gosh, it was great to meet with you, wanted to provide you with some contact information, so that you have the information you have about our company and a link to our website so you can check us out and learn more about us. In about 3 or 4 weeks, another email goes out sharing your success stories of some clients that you've worked with that are in a similar industry. Another 5 weeks after that, it's good to vary it. You send out another email of testimonials of people who have done business with you. What you're doing is you're doing a very consistent email process that allows you to reach out to that person and letting technology do the job of sending the email to the prospect as opposed to you having to remember to do it. Now, I'm not expecting you to be able to set up an autoresponder series in 5 minutes. It is a process and it takes time. But the reality is if you don't have one set up now, any action you do towards creating this puts you in the forefront and puts you ahead of the game. So I have provided some ideas about some tasks that you could do during this time frame when this task pops up each month. One is to identify the vertical markets you want to focus on. And what is a vertical market? A vertical market is a set of prospects or clients that have similar interests or similar markings, such as government. A lot of my clients sell to government. That could be healthcare. It could be manufacturing. It could be something. It could be oil and petroleum companies. So all the oil and petroleum companies that you work with could get this similar type of email. Yes, it will be the same email going to the people, but it's going to speak to the success that you've had in the oil and petroleum industry. So a vertical is just, you wouldn't want to send an oil and petroleum email about your success stories within that industry to somebody who's in healthcare. It just doesn't make sense. It's a total non sequitur. So therefore, if you have 2 to 3 different industries, or maybe even up to 10 different industries or types of clients that you work with, it gives you an opportunity to create specific messaging for each of those. My suggestion is you start with one vertical market, outline a series of emails for each vertical market, write them up, and then create the email in your email system. Makes your prospecting so much easier, and it really activates technology to work on your behalf, and that's what the real key is here. So once again, you may not have this in place today. You may not even have this in place in a month, but you will have this in place eventually, and this will save you time exponentially in the future. Task number 3 is reviewing your marketing materials for usability. I have worked on multiple marketing items, brochures for clients. And what I have found is that a lot of time and energy and fretting goes into exactly what words are going to be used, what images are going to be used, and cost is put into creating those. And a year or two down the line, they're no longer usable because a newer, shinier, prettier marketing piece has been created. And the other thing that I find is that there's items on that originating brochure that was produced 2 years ago that are fantastic for social media posts. The images on there might be dated, but the actual words on there are not, and they can be reused in proposals. They can be used as content for marketing. They can be used for social media posts, like I was saying, and they can be used as part of your languaging when you do presentations. So even though you may not use the brochure or marketing material itself, there's items and pieces of it that are really helpful. So it is my suggestion that you take some time every month and go through and look at your printed marketing materials. Many people have them in cubbies or file drawers. So just go ahead and locate it. Start with the oldest ones. And as you're looking at them, they're going to be of value in two ways. They're either going to be valuable in that you find some wording on them that can take the next presentation over the top to be from a good presentation to a great presentation, or you decide they're completely no longer required and now you just found some space because you threw them all out. So either way, they're going to be of value to you. So the point is that if you actually have the file for the older piece and the majority of it is good, you just need to update the pictures, it is much more cost efficient to go in and to hire a graphics person to go in and change out those images and touch up the wording and maybe the address or the web address or whatever the contact information is and print out a new item than it is to actually go through the process of creating a brand new one. So there's so many reasons why it's important to go through and look at your marketing materials. And the same goes for PDFs. Many people have gone straight to a virtual brochure or a web brochure, and in there you do have the file, so it is much easier to make those changes if changes need to be made. And if for any reason you decide you don't want any of these, it is my suggestion you save 5 of the printed ones and set them aside, because you never know if you want to reference it again. But get rid of the 3 boxes that you have of them. Find some space in your warehouse, or set them in an older resources file so that they're not in your day-to-day thing and somebody doesn't actually accidentally grab the wrong PDF when they're putting together information for an email or for a contact. I guarantee you in doing this process, you will find some hidden gems. Task number 4 is move business images off of your cell phone. I work with a lot of companies that provide physical products and mechanical machinery to their clients. I also work with companies that provide services, soft services, and there's a lot of pictures that are being taken. Sometimes the pictures that are being taken are actually of the installation process, and those images are fantastic to use for training purposes. If somebody's doing something really great in terms of a process or a mechanism for how to install something, it's great to show the rest of the team about that so everybody can start emulating that great practice. The point is, though, is that if the pictures stay on your phone, they're of no good to anybody. There are automated ways to do this. There are apps. There are ways to back it up to the cloud. There's a way to back it up to your computer, depending upon how you're set up with your computer, and to automate the process. Or you can physically just stick a cord in it and manually transfer it. The point is that these images, whether they are images of the product or the scenery around the product or whatever it is, do not need to be professional. This picture right here that I have could be a restaurant owner with a new dish they're trying. Could post that on social media and say, hey, I'm trying out this new recipe, come tell me what you think of it. And it doesn't need to be a professional photo. In fact, some people find that they resonate more with a non-professional picture because it feels more real. So therefore, that's something to consider as well. Don't be nervous about thinking, oh, I can't take a picture. And you don't have to have a special camera. Truly, your cell phone's just fine. I have a whole set of information about that for you on that task day. And all of these pictures that you have, once they get put into a central area for use by your staff, your proposal team, can be added to your social media, could be added to your proposals, could be reminders to your clients of your capabilities. It's just, like I said, a fantastic opportunity to train staff, as well as a unique opportunity for educational purposes for your client of how something is done. This is the process we follow. You think we're expensive? Let me explain to you why this is actually a value. and you go through the process piece by piece of what you do, and then all of a sudden a high price tag seems like a deal. So the next thing is what if you don't take images? Well, if you don't take images, there's ways that you can show what you do as part of your process and use that as part of your process. If you want to talk about that, or you're concerned that you don't have images you can take, please give me a call. I'll be happy to help you. Once again, you can automate it. You can email it from your phone to yourself, to your computer, or you can put a coordinate to transfer the images over. Just if once a month you were to go through and just move all the images over, that would be fantastic in terms of moving your marketing process forward. Task number 5 is all about connecting. It's viewing the calendar, not industry calendars like we talked about on the other webinars, but the physical, actual month-to-month issued by, Google Calendar for upcoming holidays. People like to know that people are connecting with them. And a great way to connect with people without having it be for a business purpose specifically is to use a holiday to help you do that. I used to work for a company that did something called Healthy Baskets after New Year's. So we wouldn't do the candy or the gift baskets during the holiday season in November, December. Instead, we would do what's called a Healthy Basket early January, and we drop those off because everybody's on a diet at that point. So we're supporting that. On this calendar here, you see there's Valentine's Day, great opportunity to connect with people. President's Day is kind of fun too. If you can think of a fun way to tie in your business with some form of holiday, it creates an opportunity to look unique and to connect. This is great if you can't think of another good reason to reach out to somebody. It's a great way to reach out to somebody. I had another client that did Groundhog's Day. Every year on Groundhog's Day, she'd send out a card, and people just loved it and grew to expect it. And when she didn't do it one year, oh my goodness, the hue and cry, you couldn't believe it. And Super Bowl, great opportunity for Super Bowl. You can either talk about teams, but if it's highly crazy that year, you may not want to do that. But just the overall, the idea of Super Bowl or setting, providing Super Bowl baskets or something like that. So I provide a link on this task day for a place to go to take a look at all the calendared holidays, and you can go through and select if you want to see every holiday, like Teachers Appreciation Day and Staff Appreciation Day, or just more of the majors like I have shown here. Again, it is 100% all about connection. The 6th task is creating email signatures. And you might say to yourself, but I already have an email signature. It has my name, my phone number, my email address, and my website, and my company address, and my logo, and it links to everything because I'm really smart and figured out how to do that. Well, that's fantastic. I'm glad that you have your email signature, but you can do so much more with email signatures. The graphic I have shown here is actually from my Outlook program, and that's just showing 6 of the over 20 email signatures that I have. I use these email signatures to send to new prospects. I have a new prospecting email that when somebody talks to me or I talk to them, I then follow up and I send that email. Now, am I sending that email exactly the way it is? No. I pull up that email signature, I go in and I make the appropriate revisions to it, but I have a good boilerplate starting point for where I want to go. I don't have to reinvent the wheel every time I go to send something to somebody. And I find that when it comes to marketing tasks, that people are so concerned about it takes so long. If I call this person, then I'm going to have to create this email and I'm going to have to figure out how to send it and blah, 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 blah. This takes all of that thinking out of the process. It goes through and provides you with a boilerplate template that you can make some small adjustments to, add some information in based on the conversation you had, and then send the email. The key is to take the time to actually go through and create these signatures. It's very simple to do. I've provided a specific how-to in the task day email that you'll be receiving. Gmail also provides for email signatures. I don't know if they provide for as lengthy email signatures, so you'll need to check that out. But I know Outlook allows you to do any length you want. You can put images in there. You can do anything you need to do. And you can also set it up when a new client decides to sign on with me. You can see I have a new client contracts. I have an email already set up with all the paperwork that's required for them to send back to me just basic boilerplate stuff, but really just great stuff. The next email, I ask clients each month, what is the next email that you want to do? Anything that's repetitive that I send to people, I have put into an email signature. This is such a huge time saver. Let's see here. What else is good about this? Besides the fact that it saves a lot of time. And this is truly putting technology at work for you. Truly putting technology at work for you. Task number 7 is checking the previous week's calendar for open tasks. Now, why is that important? This is where we talked about how do you build trust. Remember at the very beginning of the webinar, I said, gosh, these tasks are going to help you build trust. This is how these tasks help you build trust. By doing what you say you're going to do. If you go back through and you look at your emails and you say, did I follow up with this? Did I follow up with that? If you look back at your calendar and you think about the meetings you had, or you looked at your notes from the meetings, did I actually go through and follow through on everything I said I was going to do from that meeting? And if you do, that puts you in a very good spot with that prospect or with that client, because that builds trust that you do what you say you're going to do. Even if it's a little bit delayed, it still feels better than you not doing it at all. So what I do is I don't keep a paper calendar. Everything's done on the computer for me personally. So I'll go back and check my physical calendar on the computer. And then I'll also go back and check my emails. When I receive emails in, and I do receive a lot of emails in just like everybody else, I go through, if I am not capable of handling that task or doing a response at that moment, and it requires some sort of response or next action from me, I will put a flag on it using the Outlook methodology. I'll put a flag on that. And then at the end of the week, I go and I take a look and say, did I follow through and follow up on all of the flags? And that's how I keep track of that. And then once I get them done, I clear the flag and I'm able to move off, and I know that I've done my job for the week. So once again, using technology as a guide. The last thing I want to say is about this is that so many people have so much email that comes in. Some people I work with have used their business address for everything in their life. They use it for all of their shopping. They use it for all of their signups that they do for different apps and different services, which is great. Everything's in one spot. You can see it all. But it also loses sight of the business purpose of your email. So on the task email that I have set up to send out to you on that task day, I talk about that. I talk about ways to combat that so that only the email that you're receiving on your business email is actual valuable business email that you should be looking at. And it keeps a lot of the fluff out of there and makes it a lot easier to follow up and not miss things. If you're the type of person that wants to have everything on one email address, that's great, but you just have to be super rigorous about making sure that you're not missing anything when it comes in from a client. So these are the get organized tasks. Again, I saved this section of get organized tasks for last. People tend to resist wanting to do these types of tasks, but they're actually as powerful as the previous 2 sets because of the amount of time they're going to save you. This creates a much more sophisticated marketing engine for your business when you take the time to utilize these get organized tasks. And consistent improvement equals increase in sales. The more time you save automating repetitive tasks, the more time you have for your personal life or other business tasks. Once again, I love this cartoon. It would just be simpler. You know, if you could take a pill, absolutely. You could even assign some of these tasks to somebody else to do within your firm. Some of these you may have to do on your own, or you may need to be involved, but some of these you can assign to you can delegate, which is also great. They just need to get done, and they're all very simple, and they can be done at any time. So now is the time to take action. You'll get a daily coaching email for the next 8 days. Today you attended the webinar. Tomorrow you will receive the email to remind you to get ready for these tasks, identifying the vertical markets you want to think about, identifying the contacts you want to add to your address book, identify which images on your cell phone you want to transfer over. On Friday, you'll receive an email to nudge you to take action and to do the first task, adding contacts to your business address book. Following 6 days after that, we'll be sending you an email for those task reminders as well. At the bottom of each of the coaching emails is an opportunity for you to enter for a $100 Amazon gift card. And if you think, oh, nobody's doing that, trust me, I've got an entire file started on my Outlook of everybody that has gone in and said that they're completing these tasks. They're all in the running for that $100 Amazon gift card. And more importantly, they're taking action for their business and they're seeing results. And that to me is more fantastic than the $100 Amazon gift card, but I'm still happy to provide the Amazon gift card. That will be awarded on October 5th, so be sure to look at it. And as you complete the task, no matter when you do it, whether it's on the actual day that it was sent to you or at another time, feel free to click that black button and indicate that you took care of the task. If you're listening to this at another time, know that there will be other raffles early next year. Again, for this series, you'll receive your daily tasks via email. Moving forward, you'll have the full list to review and choose from for your 5-minute daily section. You'll have the list. You'll have the list of 20. So just know your task. In this case, it's the Get Organized list. Set your timer and have no interruptions. Thank you for participating in these sessions. I truly appreciate your support, and I hope that you're finding that this is helping your business. If you attended all 3 sessions, you will receive a resource regarding how to evaluate your website. And on the day after the last task email is sent to you, mid to late next week or the week after, you will receive the full list of 20 5-minute marketing tasks that you can download to your computer and print each month to keep you on track. You can do them in any order based on your schedule for that day. You're also welcome to review any of these webinars again and restart the task email series if you wish. So let's take a look at some of the questions we have here. Should I throw away old marketing materials? Well, that's a personal preference. As I said before, with the marketing materials, if there's any redeeming value in any piece, you're probably going to want to hold on to it. But if it's a very small redeeming value, then I would maybe hold on to a dozen and throw out the rest. If you have boxes and boxes and boxes of something, which I've seen in my past, sometimes it's best to find the floor space and find and get the real estate back and save, 1 box or a half a box or, 100 of something, so that you can go back and take a look at it and reference it if you need to. And what if here's another question. What if I have a mountain of business cards and how do I handle that? Well, if you have a mountain of business cards, my suggestion is to do 2 things. One is to go through and categorize those business cards. This is what I do. About once a month, I'll pull out my business cards that I have set in a pile. I don't know about you, but I put them in a pile on my desk. I think most people do. And I go through and I categorize them. I'll put them in clients, prospects, referring partners, I'm not really sure, and throw out. So there's 5 different piles, essentially. The ones that are tosses, I just toss them. The ones I don't know, I just kind of keep holding on to them until I can figure out what I want to do with them. When it comes to putting in the business cards, I always start with the clients. Clients are the most important person in my world, and I want to make sure I'm keeping on top of making sure I have their contact information correct in my system. If I still have time, then I will go through and I'll enter the prospects. So that's how I kind of look at its prioritized order. And once again, I stack them. When I work with clients and I start working with them on their email marketing, they'll have this box, literally shoe boxes full of business cards. And I'm like, what do I do with all this? It's like I give them 3 Ziploc. I said, get out 3 Ziploc gallon bags, take out a marker, take out a Sharpie, put referral partners, clients, prospects, and start sorting. When you're sitting there at night watching the game or watching TV, just start sorting those business cards, and then we'll figure out what to do with them from there. Okay, here's another great question. What are the elements of a good first contact email? The first contact email that I'm suggesting that you create on your as an email signature is stated in the email that you'll receive for that day, but let me go over it here. One is a first sentence that indicates a shared contact or referral to the prospect. So you want to go through and identify, hello, so-and-so, I just wanted to let you know I'm contacting you because, Joe Smith suggested I contact you, reach out to you because I've been able to provide him with, XYZ solution. And And he thought you might be interested in that too. Just something to introduce who you are, that you're not just somebody out of nowhere, but you actually know somebody that person knows. And then you also want to state a specific benefit that you provide, which is unique to your firm. There's a lot of people out there that do different things. There's a lot of email marketing firms out there. My special thing is that I provide a very consistent email marketing program for people. I really focus on making sure it's consistent. And if clients want to do just one a year, that's nice, but maybe they want to go work with somebody else, because I'm really more about the consistency, and that's my focus. And if people want to sleep well at night knowing that there's a consistent email marketing program happening, then they're going to want to work with me. Okay? And a link to a PDF or your website that is specifically built for new prospects to look at. Take the time to put together something that is very specific, that talks about all the benefits that you provide, some informational on success stories, things of that nature, something that somebody can look at and go, oh, okay, these people really do what they say they're going to do. The other item on there should be a specific request from them to see what their interest might be. And like, please let me know if, you read this thing, or I don't know, you have to come up with the right words depending upon what your service is. If you would like to start a consistent email marketing program, please get back to me so we can just start talking about what the options could be. There's no contract required for us to just have a conversation about what might work for you. I'm happy to provide you with, an hour free marketing consulting to give you some clarification for yourself as to what you might want to do. Something like that spurs them into wanting to reach back to you. And then identified next steps that you will be taking to connect with them. Now, the important thing about the identified next step is, okay, I'm going to be reaching out to you in 2 weeks, again, to, just check in on the conversation that we had, right? Well, if you don't follow up with them in 2 weeks, you've just lost trust and credibility. So you have to make sure whatever it is that you say you're going to do, that you put it in your calendar and you actually do it that day. Now, is that considered an extra task? Is that considered, oh, I reached out to a prospect? No, because you said you were going to do it, so you have to do it. So now it's just part of your business flow. So nice try. But really, the point is you have to say how you know the person, specific benefit, link to something that provides them with more information, a specific request from them to see if they're interested in moving forward with talking to you further. Doesn't mean they're going to buy anything, doesn't mean anything's going to happen. You just want to know if they're going to be willing to take the next step to continue the conversation. And then the identified next step of exactly what it is that you're going to do, and that's something that you will actually be able to do. Okay, we only have 2 more minutes left in the time frame allowed here. Oh, this is a great question. What information is important for me to note from their business card? Personally, I feel you should do the first name, the last name, the full address for mailing purposes, their email address, of course, full company name, their office number, mobile phone number. May seem like pretty basic things, but all of these things need to be there for different reasons. So we're looking for pretty much everything that's on there, with the exception of the words they've won or their picture that they have on that. So pretty much everything that's on the business card does need to find its way into your system. Again, thank you for your participation in these sessions. Thank you again to Constant Contact for hosting this. Please feel free to share about this series with business associates, as they will be able to watch these webinars and receive the task emails at their convenience. I have it set up to do that with an autoresponder series. Imagine that. Thank you again, and now go activate your marketing.